December historically is a strong month, but when you're up more than 10% in the first half and it's an election year, December's been up 100% of the time. The second is yields have moved down to pre-election levels. The 10 years at 4.1. That's good for multiple expansion. The third is, I think it's been surprising, but sentiment's actually turned negative the last 2 weeks, even as the markets rally. To me, that's a contrarian bullish signal. And then finally, we still have those two puts, the Trump put and the Fed put. And I think that means you still want to buy any of these dips.
What can Trump do to make sure the market keeps going up?
Well, I think we've seen it with how he's made cabinet proposals or nominations, that he's very pro-business. And I think, as many have said, Trump is very focused on the stock market. So I think communication is still a strategy, and it's a reminder that animal spirits could come back.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Tom Lee, Fundstrat CIO, shares why he believes Bitcoin will soar past $100,000 and the S&P will hit 6,300 by year-end. Let's catch him to learn more.
It is a possibility, and it's always hard to tell what the bond market is telling us. But when I look at the next 6 to 12 months, and we know the Fed wants to reduce the cost of capital for homeowners in mortgages and for small business owners, having the 10-year stay at these levels or even fall is actually an easing of financial conditions. So to me, that's a good sign. Well, I think it's great that someone is scrutinizing these.
Bernie Sanders said it was great.
Yes, that's right. And, these are...
That's not good. No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, these are huge budget items. And so I'd love to see someone really identify where there could be waste. Mm-hmm. And is that bad for the economy? I think in general, most people view government spending as the least efficient capital. So if you reduce government spending, and it's been crowding out private sector spending, I'd rather see the private sector reinvest that capital. And I think that would overall be very good.
Like it's a zero-sum game. I mean, a lot of people would take any spending they can get, whether it's government or otherwise, for an economy, for juicing the economy.
Yeah,
you think it would go into private if it's not spent by the government?
The United States government's decision to transfer $1.9 billion worth of Bitcoin to Coinbase has sparked widespread criticism from crypto industry leaders and analysts. Observers argue that selling such a significant amount of Bitcoin is a strategic misstep, with Space Force Major Jason Lowery calling it a profound error. Lowery, author of Software, a novel theory on power projection and the national strategic significance of Bitcoin, believes that the government fails to grasp the full value of the asset, warning that the decision could lead to regret and misguided attempts to reclaim the Bitcoin later. He likened it to Executive Order 6102, a 1933 policy that confiscated privately held gold during the Great Depression. The transfer of 19,800 Bitcoin, worth approximately $1.9 billion, caused a ripple effect in the market, with prices briefly dipping by 3% to $94,500. While Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong echoed the concerns, emphasizing the short-sightedness of selling such a strategic asset, some analysts noted that the transfer might not necessarily indicate an immediate sale. Blockchain tracking platform Spot On-Chain suggests that the government could be consolidating wallets or upgrading storage systems, with only 10,000 Bitcoin likely sold. Critics like Toby Cunningham accuse the government of negligence, asserting that any sale would be quickly absorbed by eager buyers, reinforcing the market's resilience. Others speculated about the political motivations behind the move, linking it to potential end-of-term decisions by President Joe Biden's administration. The remaining Bitcoin held by the government, estimated at 183,850 BTC valued at $17.7 billion, underscores the strategic importance of these holdings, with many arguing they should be preserved for national interest rather than liquidated. The incident highlights the broader debate over the role of governments in managing and understanding the significance of digital assets like Bitcoin.
Yes, that's right. I think that would free up money because this is, money, the capital that the government spends is competing with private sector money. I'd rather see the private sector invest this money at a higher rate of return. So I think overall it'd be positive for GDP and profits and for equities.
Do you want to, we always get a Bitcoin comment from you before we let you go. Normally it got stuck under 100. That's a pretty, it's a psychological level, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think some of this could be, there's a lot of folks who don't want Bitcoin over 100,000, and some of it may be the exchanges themselves are concerned because there is a pretty low supply of Bitcoin available over the counter. So you have a supply shortage, and if Bitcoin makes a move above 100,000, I think there'd be a big chase. So I'm still confident Bitcoin's going to close much higher before year end.
Before year end,
yeah.
So break $100,000 before the end of the year?
Yeah, well above 100,000 before year end. It's just a matter of time.
December 2nd.
Wharton professor Jeremy Siegel has pointed out a paradox in President-elect Donald Trump's stance on global currency dynamics, highlighting Bitcoin as a more significant threat to the U.S. dollar's reserve currency status than the efforts of BRICS nations. Trump's recent pledge to impose 100% tariffs on BRICS countries if they pursue a shared currency aimed at challenging the dollar's dominance has raised eyebrows. Siegel noted the irony of this approach, as Trump's vocal support for Bitcoin indirectly bolsters a potential alternative to the dollar on a global scale. Bitcoin, which has gained traction as a digital store of value, is being adopted by some nations as an alternative to gold and as a hedge against fiat currency instability. While Trump's administration has warned BRICS nations to maintain the dollar's supremacy, Siegel argued that Bitcoin's decentralized nature and growing acceptance among countries and institutions represent a more significant threat to U.S. monetary hegemony. Trump's evolving stance on Bitcoin reflects a dramatic shift from skepticism to advocacy. During his 2024 presidential campaign, he championed Bitcoin as a strategic asset and proposed creating a national Bitcoin reserve to solidify the U.S. position in the blockchain economy. This pivot has spurred optimism in cryptocurrency markets, with Bitcoin prices reaching record highs on expectations of regulatory reforms and broader adoption under Trump's administration. As BRICS continues its efforts to reduce reliance on the dollar, critics suggest that heavy-handed tactics like tariff threats could accelerate the global shift away from dollar dependency. Meanwhile, Trump's embrace of Bitcoin has signaled a new chapter in the U.S. approach to digital currencies, raising questions about how this dual narrative will influence the future of the dollar's role in global trade. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.